Hi, Jennifer here. I have another book I want to recommend. This one is Three Keys by Kelly Yang. So, this is the follow up to her book from 2019 called Front Desk. And this series is somewhat autobiographical. Kelly's family immigrated from China when she was a girl, and they worked in a hotel in California. And that's really what the first book is about. It's about Mia Tang and her parents who manage and then become owners of a hotel in Anaheim, California. Now, this book, the follow up, takes another twist, still in the hotel, the motel that they own, but we throw in a little deeper information and some concepts. The first one being immigration. So when this story is taking place, Mia is now 11. She's in the sixth grade. Time has passed a little bit, a few months since the first story, and there is a race for governor, and the incumbent in California is a fan of limiting immigration, and he's a fan of Proposition 187, which would do a number of things to limit services to immigrants, especially to undocumented children. They would not be able to go to school. And so what you discover early on is that her friend Lupe, who you'll remember from the first book, her family is undocumented. And so this becomes an actual personal experience for Mia and her friends. So Mia's family is from China, but they have the right paperwork. Lupe's family is from Mexico, and they don't. And so there's this conflict with the children about what to do. Now, one of the things that I loved about both of her books is that there are these two main themes that go through. One of them is giving personal experience to what it's like to be an immigrant. So Mia's family has immigrated from China. Her friend Jason is a first generation American, but his family is from China as well. And Lupe is an immigrant from Mexico. So, there's a lot going on in the news about immigration and laws and what's right and what's wrong and what immigrants do and what they don't do. I mean, there's news all over the place, and there has been for the last few years. And I wonder how much our students, our kiddos, really understand and know about immigration, because I think what they're getting is from the news, from what they hear from their parents, maybe from what they hear from their teachers. But this is a great book, and Front Desk is a great book. There's a third one that's coming out later this year that really lets you see the inside of what is that like. What does it mean to be an immigrant? What does it mean to have to learn a new language? What things might be not available to you or be harder for you because of your immigrant status. The other thing that you'll see touched on are things like sexism and racism. And all of that is super important for our kids to, get some knowledge on. It doesn't go deep. It doesn't go, necessarily take one side or another. It just introduces those concepts and how they relate to the immigrants in the story. For instance, Mia's parents both had seriously professional jobs in China. Her mom was an engineer. Her dad was a geneticist. And here in America, they had a hard time finding any jobs at all. And we learn a lot of that in the first book. The other thing that is a theme in both of these books is that children can make change. So you see Mia not being just sitting and sighing and saying, oh well, that's the way the world works. She is active and trying to help solve the problem. So in this story, the main problem has to do with Lupe's immigration status and things that happen to her family because of that. And she puts her thinking cap on, and she uses her writing skills, and she starts to build the community that she's built as a way to help Lupe and her family. So highly recommend this as an introduction to what the immigrant experience is like, but also to show you that kiddos can do crazy, magical things by using their voice and their own talents. So I recommend this book. I recommend all of Kelly Yang's books. Start with Front Desk, read the Three Keys, and then the one that's coming out later this year. You will not be disappointed. Happy reading.